I mean, I think with RJ Barrett, the one thing we've known about him since he was a young player is that he's going to work.
It appears as if the New York Knicks dedicated themselves to RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett's going to get a really good contract, upwards of $120 million on a 4-year deal, as reported by Adrian Wojnarowski. It was just last week that we were talking and we mentioned in passing about RJ Barrett and the Mark Berman report that they like Quentin Grimes more than RJ Barrett. And then, of course, within a week's time after I ripped that cockamamie story, they give $120 million to RJ Barrett.
Tom Thibodeau's pissed.
Yeah, he's got to be just all fired up about it. I've told you from throughout his time with the New York Knicks, I don't necessarily think that everything has been suited for RJ's success. You know, you had this all NBA season that was going on with Julius Randle a few years back. Then you had last year where they go and they attain, you know, they're one of their free agent splashes is going and getting Evan Fournier, and then they re-sign Alec Burks, and like they've done some weird stuff for sure, and they took a step backwards last year. I don't think he was in the best situation by any means. In fact, maybe the worst, certainly of his peers, if you want to consider those to be Morant and Williamson, with the whole Fizdale thing. You know, when you get front office change, when you get coaching change, when you get personnel change, all of these things, I think, make it very difficult. All the while, COVID by your second year, you know, kind of taking over the league. Like, I still got a lot of stock in RJ Barrett, and I think RJ Barrett, there's a ceiling that I think is maybe a little higher, maybe much higher than people think. I think the floor is always going to be a good/really good NBA player, but I think that ceiling is still out there for him to possibly be a great player in this league. What say you?
I'm with you, Chris. I mean, I think with RJ Barrett, the one thing we've known about him since he was a young player is that he's going to work. He's one of those guys that's going to maximize whatever he's going to become, whether that's just, you know, the same guy that we saw the last 2 years, or whether that's an even higher ceiling player as you're talking about, where the shot becomes really consistent. He gets better at drawing fouls, finishing at the rim, and all that. If all that happens, he could be an all-star. Even if it's just a one-time, two-time all-star, RJ is going to be a good player for many years to come. I don't have any doubts about that. It's just a matter of what level he ends up reaching. And you're right. Like, I don't think the situation's been the best for him. Like, when you talk about the higher ceiling RJ Barrett, doesn't that include him being in a winning situation? I mean, I'm excited for the possibility of the Knicks getting better and seeing what RJ Barrett turns into in that environment.
Yeah. And I just think that, you know, they've split the line in terms of, are you good? Are you not good? Are you in a development stage? Are you winning now? You know, like, because everything happened so fast with the Tips thing, and they got some veterans around them, and he's still logging minutes, but Randall's like the guy on that team.
When you say split the line, you mean like the past couple of years, right? Like they're kind of straddling between winning and development, right?
You're not really in a development mode, right? But you're also not win now, win big mode. That's what I mean.
Yeah, and I mean, does a Donovan Mitchell trade get him there? Or is that just one more step towards winning? If you have Barrett, Mitchell, and whatever you keep from not trading for Mitchell.
I kind of think that when you sign RJ Barrett to this $30 million contract, $120 million contract, I wouldn't be surprised if that is a move on from the Mitchell idea. You spent a fortune on Brunson, and so
yeah,
I don't think Brunson, Mitchell, Barrett gets
I'm
you
with
where
you.
you want to get. I don't think that those three together that's not the mix. To me, if you are doing the Mitchell thing, I don't think you do the Barrett thing.
But could you do the Mitchell thing and then it's like 2 years from now, this other superstar player says, I want to go to New York, and then that's where you flip Brunson and that
Sure.
deal. So like you're getting the superior talent in Mitchell now, and even though the fit's not perfect, it's not your championship core. It's one step towards that.
But
that's the
Barrett,
logic in it.
I like Barrett as a big two. Don't
Me
you?
too. Yeah, I liked it. I like him there as well, for sure.
Yeah, so, and that's what, I mean, Donovan Mitchell is a shooting guard.
Yeah.
It's what he is. And he's also got the ball in his hands a lot. I'm not sure that you get the best of RJ Barrett playing next to Donovan Mitchell.
And Jalen Brunson.
Right.
Yeah.